Greetings, 8th graders. This is Mr. Rogers. I'm here to talk a little bit about the Star Story finale. This is for anyone who missed out on it because of map testing in school today, which I know probably does affect a few people. So if you missed the discussion, this is basically a recap of the discussion. We are going to be doing a book as kind of our final project for star stuff. And this book is going to be like a children's book because the life of a star is very much like a story. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And in the case of stars, the end is actually then the beginning of another story. So there's a lot of potential here for you to write a children's book. You'll notice that there are two versions here, the low-tech and the high-tech version. They're essentially the same project. It's just how you want to go about doing it. Do you want to do it the old-fashioned way with paper and like you're drawing things by hand and you're writing things out? Or do you want it more high-tech where you're doing it digitally? And either is just fine, and either one is probably about the same amount of work. It depends on what you consider to be easier for your personal style. And since it's a children's book, that's the big piece right there. A children's book is very visual. You have a lot of pictures and only a little bit of text, and that's how this book should be as well. So in either case, you'll notice here that your story is really going to be either a 1x story, or the story of a 2x star, for example, or a 3x star. It should be 7 to 10 pages long for each of the major steps in the life cycle of a star. And if you think about it, it's not that difficult to come up with 7 to 10. If you pull out your graphic organizer for the lives of stars, you'll see easily there are 7 to 10 steps right there. You could have one page be the nebula stage with the stellar nursery. That's page 1. Page 2 could be about the main sequence star forming inside of it. Page 3 could show fusion happening inside the sun, where two hydrogen atoms are being jammed together to make helium atoms. Page 4 could talk about the star running out of hydrogen and what that does to the star. And then page 5 could show the star turning into a red giant and fusing 3 heliums together to make carbon. Page 6 could talk about how the star then makes atoms that are too big for it to even put together. And then page 7, I think we're up to, could be the star exploding as a nova or supernova, depending on what size you pick. And then you could do another couple pages, one for the core of the star collapsing, another for the outer shell becoming a nebula, and then it's all starting over again. So easily you could get out to 7 to 10 pages if you think it through here. Just use the graphic organizer as your guideline. You want 1 or 2 sentences per page to kind of explain what the images are and what the story is saying. At least 1 page should show the process of fusion inside the star, showing the hydrogen atoms fusing into helium or the 3 heliums fusing into carbon, or maybe you want to do both. Really impress me. You want to show as much detail as you can in the pictures. You can personify your star if you want to, so your star can really take on human qualities. You could even give it a name like Sally the Star or I don't know, Jake the Star or something like that. It's totally up to you. You do need to make sure that whatever you draw is an example of your best effort. You don't have to be a great artist, but you just have to give it your best attempt. And then I think a good, strong story will carry it through. And you're not going to be graded severely on the art, but you don't want it to appear as if you just slapped a few pictures together. And the thing is, with both the low and the high tech, it's really got to be your own drawings, not pictures off of the internet. You should follow the HR diagram rules, which we learned about in class today, looking at the HR diagram a second time. There should be a big idea at the heart of your story, like that big idea that we're all made out of star stuff. And that ties back to our essential question, in what ways are we connected to the stars? It'd be an ideal moral to the story, if you will, because all good children's books have that. They have something about them that tells a moral story that makes the reader a better person after having read it. So you want to do the same sort of thing here. If you're uncomfortable with the idea of star stuff, then you might want to choose a different focus for your essential question, answer, or big idea. Maybe you want it to be about how we're connected to the stars, like how we learned earlier with droughts and kangaroo populations and how the sun can affect us in many unusual ways. Or maybe you tie it back into the HR diagram discussion that we had in class today about how stars and people are not that too dissimilar. And if you were gone for that part of the discussion, you'll hear it in the other video tutorial that I've recorded for today. But you have to have a big idea. You have to have your answer to the essential question. Without it, it's going to be difficult to get an A. And you really want to write it as if it would appeal to elementary age children, but also be informative for like 8th grade, middle school, students. Like I should be able to read it and know that you understand stars to a high level. So you want to go for accuracy. You want to have as much detail in it as you can, but make it very accessible for younger kids. And you'll notice the high-tech is exactly the same. In fact, you can still draw your pictures over here in the high-tech option. You could even blend low-tech and high-tech options together. So that like you could draw your pictures to use your iPad to take photos of it and then bring it over into the high-tech book that you create. And you'll notice down here there are several suggested apps for this. Certainly if there's another app out there that you have on your iPad that you think would work, you're welcome to do that. But right here, Book Creator, it's ideal for an assignment like this. So you might want to think about that. Haiku Deck, it's just kind of a glorified slideshow, but you slide the pages across, and that would be very much like a book. I think Explain Everything would be an outstanding one to choose too, because that's like a screencast, kind of like I'm doing here. But you could draw your pictures in advance, you could write out the text, and then you kind of narrate your own story and record your own voice reading it, which would be like really cool, take it to a new level. And then there are the more traditional high-tech options, which would work really well, like a Keynote or a Prezi or a Google presentation. So those are things to think about, and just pick the one that works best for you. And if you don't like either of these ideas, then that's not a problem. You just need to find another project that would really show how you understand stars in a creative way. And I'm very open to negotiations on that. You just need to let me know. Please take note, the due date is Tuesday, January 19th. That should be the day that we get back from Martin Luther King holiday on Monday. So you'll have a 3-day weekend in which to tackle this. You also have a few days now in school where you could work during Wrap Flex. Don't anticipate a lot of in-class time. As you know, in-class time is really kind of precious and valuable, and I would love to be able to give you all the time in the world, but it would be really difficult to do, to give you all the time you need to do this. So be planning for time outside of school. And one last note before I log off here, you can also have a partner with this. I know Miss Quigley is not doing partners with this project, but I think it's okay if you guys do. I don't think it should disrupt things too terribly bad here. And other than that, if you have questions, obviously you want to come and contact me and ask me. I'm always available, and I got no problem helping folks out as they still continue to learn and understand the material. So I just wish you guys good luck on it, and I'm really excited to see what you come up with for your Star Story finale.